So the next feature I want to talk about is the ability that you actually have to manipulate all the findings. So let's just look at, for example, vulnerabilities. So vulnerabilities. So here's my query that has all my vulnerabilities, and there's the information about it. And you can immediately again see here. You can see which one are the sources. So if I want to know all the sources, I just double click there, and that's all my sources there, right? So let's say I want to grab this guy here. So what you can do now is once you double click on it, right, to edit, and remember that you can move this around. You can put it here, you can put it side by side, you can put it on the main one, you can move it around, so you can play with it. So now we got this finding that's loaded here. So let's see what you can do with this. So the first thing you can do is you can just change the vulnerability type. So I can go and say, actually, this is not a validation required vulnerability. This is a log injection. So I can go here and I can go log injection. Now I got the autosave, which basically means that saves are automatically done. So that means that if I come here and I search this, now you could see that my my vulnerability log injection should be there. So again, just want to make it just easy to search, we can just add a little tag there, run query, and now you got my vulnerability log injection. So let's just change now, for example, the vulnerability name and the severity. So vulnerability name is going to be new vol name, and I want to make severity 2 instead of 1. Again, automatic save. So if I run the query again, you could see that now it's low, vulnerability name, etc. So you can basically change everything that it's here, and that, so basically you can change all the details for this. You could also start to manipulate information here. So let's say my source. I actually want my source to be called underscore underscore underscore, right? So that means that now I can also, from here, I can change that value there. Again, same the sync, etc. But you can actually manipulate these more, because again, you can come here, right, and you can manipulate all the findings. So I can change the context for this particular, which this is the source. So this is the new context of this source. So I can change information, file number, etc. And then what I can also do is I can add new things. So I'm going to insert a new trace. So you can see that now I've inserted a new trace. Now, insert new trace adds it to the top. So it's important to understand how it sort of works. So what this does is it's added the new trace to the top of this guy. So if I move that trace back there, let me load up a new trace, so it makes a bit more sense to you. Actually, don't worry about it. I'll just delete this. So so I want to append a new trace here. I don't want my this is my source. I don't want that guy, so you can just delete it. I'm going to basically append from here. So I'm going to append it, and that adds it to the child of it. So this is going to be this is the new source of tainted data. So now source tainted data, you change it there, and now that's my source. I don't want this to be my sync again. I can just press enter, and that adds a new child trace. So I'm going to say this is going to be my trace on the way to sync. Press enter again, adds another one. This is a sync. So now I'm going to change that guy to sync, known sync, so it's not lost sync. I'm going to make that type 0, or I can make it type 6. Type 6 is the ones where the engine basically thinks that there's no data manipulation happening there. So there's my new trace, and this is already saved, automatically saved it. So let's say this is redundant, right? We don't need all these appends, I only want one append, so delete that, delete that, delete that, it's much nicer. So that's already saved now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to load up this assessment, just a couple of them, into here. So now there's my finding. I'm going to save it as custom trace, save it, open up here, custom trace, and now you can see that if I go to my analysis, there's my information. So you can see that what we basically did was to that information, it's all manipulated. So you can see that there's my new vulnerability name, the information changed, and now if you come to the trace, so you can see that reflects our new sources and sinks. And if you look at that, you can see that the trace that we created is now here. There you go. So it's really cool because you can now basically use this to creatively create all sorts of traces that make more sense, or that explain something or a particular vulnerability that you discovered and you want represented using this, the source to sink technology.